Let's see what's cooking. It's time for yoyomax12.
Hello everyone, it's Tammy from yoyomax12, and before we get on to the delicious chocolate cinnamon bun recipe, I just want to send a big thank you out there to Best Fiends for sponsoring this video. Best Fiends is a free adventure puzzle game where you collect and build a team of fiends to help you defeat the slugs by matching same colored objects. This month you can play the Easter egg challenge where you can win some amazing and rare rewards. If you beat all 16 challenges, you will win the all-new bunny character. Download the game for free, and if you use the download link in the description box below, you will get $5 worth of diamonds and gold for free. Hey, I'm currently on level 39. Why don't you download the game and see if you can beat that level and let me know in the comments. I really enjoyed playing this game. It's a lot of fun, and I really like the little fiend characters because they're really cute. And as you can see, they're getting ready for Easter. Now, this recipe I'm going to show you how to make, it would be a great Easter brunch recipe or even part of a delicious Easter breakfast. So here we go. First thing you do is place 1/2 cup of water in a small bowl. Add to that a teaspoon of white granulated sugar. Give it a stir, and then add in an envelope of yeast, or about a tablespoon or so. Give that a stir and allow that to sit, and it'll get all foamy. In a medium-sized bowl, place 1/3 of a cup of milk, 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla, 1 egg, and then give that a stir. Large bowl, 3.5 cups of all-purpose flour, 1/2 cup of white granulated sugar, 1/2 teaspoon of salt, 1.5 teaspoons of mix cinnamon, foamy yeast, and then whisk those ingredients about 5 minutes or so. Pour that into the egg and the milk mixture, and then add 3 tablespoons of melted butter. Give that a stir, and then you're going to take the liquid and pour it into the flour mixture. So start stirring with a spoon, and when you can't really stir very well anymore, switch to your hands and just try to make a dough ball in the bowl. And then eventually you will tip that out onto the countertop, and you will have some extra flour that hasn't been incorporated in yet. And then you're going to knead it about 5 to 8 minutes until you have a smooth elastic dough ball. Now, some of that flour that's on the countertop will be incorporated as you're kneading, but not all of it will. You may not need all of it. I had about a 1/4 cup left over that I did not knead into the dough ball. I sprinkled about a tablespoon of vegetable oil into the bowl. Just spread it around the bowl, added the kneaded dough ball, flipped it a few times to coat it with oil, just so that it won't stick. Then cover it with some plastic wrap or a clean, damp towel and put it in a warm place to rise. I put mine in my oven with just the oven light on, and you're going to let it rise until doubled. Now on to the filling. Chocolate filling, you'll need 7 ounces or about 200 grams of nice, dark, good quality chocolate. This is actually a recipe I found where they recommend to use the Lindt chocolate, and that's what I used. I used the sea salt chocolate. It's delicious. You will need to take your chocolate and 1/3 of a cup of brown sugar. You're going to put it in a food processor, and you're going to pulse it until its tiny little pieces are very fine crumbs. Now, because I'm using my mini handy chopper, I don't have a big food processor. I did 1 chocolate bar at a time, and I divided the brown sugar in half. So I had to do 2 portions. But if you have a big food processor, put it all in together. Then once the chocolate's all done, you will add in 3 tablespoons of melted butter. And then you're going to pulse it about 10 or 15 times. And you'll end up with, it's not going to melt, but it's going to be, actually it looks a little like mud. And this is what it looks like. And you're going to set that aside. There's the dough ball. It doubled in size. Mine took about 1.5 hours. You're going to roll it out to a rough square shape that's about 14 inches or 35 centimeters on each side. Put your chocolate filling on top, spread it out, and just make sure you leave about 1 inch or so around the edges without any chocolate on it. And then roll it up. Doesn't matter which side you start from because you kind of have a square shape, so it doesn't really matter. Roll it up until it's all rolled. And the reason you leave an edge is that you don't want the chocolate to squish out. It gets really messy. Then just pinch the edges and the ends lightly. And then finally, you need to slice this into slices to put it in the oven. The best thing to slice this kind of dough with that kind of filling is plain old dental floss. Take a piece of dental floss, put it underneath, cross it over, and just give it a pull until it pulls right through. And you get beautiful, clean cuts with this method. I use it all the time with cinnamon buns, and it works really, really well. Much better than a knife. A knife kind of squishes it, and all the filling comes out, and they get really messy. So use your dental floss if you have some in the house. Then take all the slices, put them in a greased 9 by 13 inch pan. I used one that's maybe a 10 by 15, and I ended up with 12 cinnamon buns. If you make them a little bit thinner, you may be able to get up to 15 of them. Cover them with plastic wrap. Let them sit in a warm place, again, in my oven with the oven light on, for about 45 minutes to an hour. And as you can see, they'll almost double in size. Then you'll take the plastic wrap off, and then you will put them in a 350-degree oven and bake them for 25 to 30 minutes until they are a nice golden brown. Now the recipe says to let them cool in the pan for about 15 minutes, but I don't think you will be able to because you're going to want to eat these right away. The actual bun part has the cinnamon in it. Lovely little cinnamon flavor. And the best part is that filling, that chocolate is just so good. You can add a drizzle of a glaze on these if you want, but they don't really need them. I will put in a little recipe in the description box if you want to throw a glaze on these. These are amazing. I will make them again, and they're best right out of the oven, but if you want to eat them the next day, all you have to do is pop them in the microwave for about maybe 5-10 seconds just to heat them up a bit, and they're just as good as the first day you made them. Thanks for watching. Now I have quite a few bread roll type recipes on my channel, like cinnamon rolls, and one of my favorite ones, and another one that would be great for Easter, would be these tender lemon rolls. Give them a try.